So what's going on, Betty? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So welcome to Let's Talk About It. YouTube, Spotify, wherever your streaming platforms is
All
where we
right.
at.
Okay, I'm so happy to be here today. Like I told you the other day, I'm excited.
You
I
should
say
be.
that instead of saying I'm nervous.
You should be. It's a good time to talk about what's going on in real estate. And I know you are that professional. So with everything happening, we got this new administration. Why do people keep thinking the president makes up the rate?
That is an excellent question. I wonder myself. I know, like the last quarter of 2024,
Right.
a lot of people were, who wanted to sell their houses. They were like, I'm going to wait until, after the election. I don't know what the holdup was, but we're here now and they're listing.
Right. So just to be clear, the president does not make up interest rates or he tries to dictate interest rate. Simply, monetary policy controls interest rates. So when you hear news about what's going on with different bond markets, that takes place in terms of what's happening with mortgage interest rates. That said, Betty,
Yes.
you're a customer service person, right?
Yes, I am. I have over 30 years in customer service. I've only had 3 jobs, including now a career.
Okay.
Started off working in a doctor's office, did light customer service there, and then I got hired for AT&T. I worked there for 21 years.
21 years. This is a good time.
21 years.
Good
I had
run.
I started off in customer service.
Right.
Then I did so well there that they decided to promote me to take escalations for the president of the company.
Okay.
And you can only imagine some of those calls. And then I did quality observes for our vendors.
Right.
And then I got promoted to the corporation.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I had a good ride at AT&T. I must say that.
So you dealt with customers.
Yes, I have. And I think that's, one thing that I really bring to my real estate career at this point.
So would you say that helped propel you to take the next step into what we call today the real estate life?
Yes, I would definitely say that because having a customer service background, of course, I'm used to dealing with customers.
Right.
Irate customers, calm customers, just anybody. So I understand, the importance of being patient. So I think definitely that helped me. And then just also having a corporate background.
Right.
Because once I got promoted to the corporation, I was a project manager.
Okay.
So I just looked at everything in real estate as a project.
Right.
I used to review contracts and the billing aspects. So everything is just a project for me to get from start to finish. And, there's a lot of things that go into that. And by me using those skills, that's the reason why my deals get done.
That's key, right?
Yes.
Because communication is very important,
It
right?
is.
And how one receives it can determine if they still want to move forward with a big purchase, right?
Exactly.
So the fact that you have these templates embedded already,
Right.
this helps that much. It makes your client that much satisfied when they hear that
Exactly.
they're going through the process, right?
Yes, and especially when we come, when we're faced with challenges.
Right. That does
Because I
happen.
just go back into my old toolbox
Okay.
it doesn't matter where, if I'm dealing with a lender, if I'm dealing with, anybody, I understand that if, say, the lender is not responding to me, right? I'll give them 2 days.
That wouldn't be me, by the way, because I'm always
It
picking up the phone.
better not. No, it wouldn't be you.
Okay.
But whenever, I give everybody grace.
Right.
48 hours, we're going to need a response. If you don't respond to me, then I'm going to find out who is the head person of whatever corporation you work for. And I've had to contact the heads of different lenders, but I bet we got our response. So yeah, I understand the chain of command.
Right. It
Yes.
definitely makes sense. So given the fact that you cover all of New Jersey, but primarily you focus on northern New Jersey, can you touch a little bit, what does that landscape look like today?
Whew. The landscape, I can say I've been in the business since 2019, and I came in a seller's market, and I'm still in a seller's market.
Okay.
We're still being faced with challenges of limited inventory,
Right.
right? Multiple offers. There are, properties that your clients sometimes don't believe that when you're giving them, the information after seeing it, like, okay, if this is a property that you want, I understand it's listed for $399. However, in order for us to be in the best possible light to get your offer accepted, we're going to have to offer anywhere between $550 and maybe $575.
Right. That shock is
yes,
a little interesting at times, right?
It is.
Right.
But that's the importance of having a buyer's consultation. And when you have that, you know what I'm saying? You explain everything to the client, but also make sure you touch on the current market.
Pretty much imagine their expectations, because they get information from all over
Exactly.
all over the world. And so at times when you come in and you present them, here, this is what we're going to be going through.
Right.
This is what it looks like.
Yes.
And let's make sure the decision you make, you have all the ammunition you need.
Exactly.
So that we can make sure we present our offer correctly. And then also on the selling side, right? Making sure that what's in your home is going to sell for that price, right? I'm sure you have all these pictures. And
Yes, exactly. It's not totally about the pictures.
Right.
Exactly. It is about empowering your clients, right? Whether
Right.
it's on the buy side or the seller side, to make an informed decision for whatever it is. If they're purchasing a home,
Right.
of course, I'm going to give them comps, all of the information to let them know. However, ultimately, it's your decision, right? And if you're not comfortable with submitting an offer for maybe $50,000 or $75,000 over the asking price, that's fine. But understand, with all the information that I gave you, you're probably not going to get the house.
So do you find yourself, especially with first-time home buyers, having these conversations multiple times?
Oh, yes. Before, I used to over give information, but I've learned, and just like a child, you tell a child don't touch the stove because they'll get burnt, right?
Right.
But they'll still sneak and touch. Sometimes it takes for them to get burnt. And when I say that, I mean, I gave you the information based on comps or based on this or what I know from speaking to the agent.
Right.
And you still decided to offer X amount, right? And you didn't get your offer accepted, right? You really like that house. How does that feel?
Right.
And most times when you do that, I say for me, my track record is just once, but 2 or 3 times, and then they're on board.
Right. So it's almost like a psychological thing, right?
Exactly.
They think they know the steps. However, they have to go through the ups and downs to see it. And sometimes that test is warranted.
Exactly. Yes.
That's good. That was good. So when it comes to selling, now, given the fact that we do have limited inventory,
yes,
how are you having these conversations for those who think about selling but unsure that this is the market to sell?
Right. Well, right now, I could tell you one thing that I'm truly faced with, and I know a lot of agents could attest to this, is that a lot of sellers are enjoying that low interest rate they had.
Right.
So they might think about selling because they know they can make so much money, but then they're like, where are we going to go?
Right.
So to me, it's all trust. You have to trust your agent. Trust the expert. My job is to tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear, right?
That's good.
And
that's key.
The thing is, if you are enjoying a low interest rate, but you're in a house where you're outgrowing, like, what type of sense does that make, right?
Right.
So, of course, it takes time. But like I said, if you trust your agent, everything will work out fine. And, of course, you have to make sure that the agent you have is trustworthy.
Right.
And they're giving you the right information that you need, again, to make an informed decision that's going to be best for you.
Trusting your agent, because, again, with every information out there, at times you feel like you're not getting where you need to be, and your agent does have the key to help get the proper price for the home.
Exactly.
At the same time making sure that they handle wherever you're moving to as well, right?
Exactly.
Because that's the connection I guess you have with Keller Williams, right? You can contact other
agents
within your platform to talk about, hey, my client is perhaps leaving the state of New Jersey.
Exactly.
We would like to go to Connecticut or Florida or anywhere outside of New Jersey, and here's what we can do,
or even internationally.
Right.
You know?
That part too, right?
Right.
That part
And
too.
that's something that I definitely stress to, all my clients,
Right.
anybody, that I have the ability to help you within the 50 states or internationally.
Right.
You know, you just tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I will put you with somebody, a few somebodies, because, you know, the first person you speak to.
A few somebodies, I like that.
Yeah,
Finding solutions, a few somebody. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Exactly, because the first person, they may not gel well, just like with me. I'm not for everybody, and it's okay, you know. But the importance is to know that I can help you within the 50 states or internationally.
Given the fact that you have all these credibilities as listing and buying, what advice you have for realtors who are coming into the world of real estate?
Ooh, well, my first advice is, of course, watch all of the reality shows, okay? Because you need a good laugh, and you know, you might want to find like a different style of, you know, how you want to present yourself, but do not believe the hype, okay? It is not about wearing designer clothes and cash and checks, all right? Real estate is a business, and it's a relationship building business.
Keyword relationship.
My advice would be for new agents coming in, number one, trust yourself, right? That's very important. Trust yourself. No, you don't know everything, and it takes time, right? Don't be attached to the outcome. Of course, we work to get paid, but however, if you go into a situation where it just seems like you're interested in the bottom line of getting paid, they're going to notice that. 3, I would say if you have an office where agents are in, you know, come in the office on a daily basis, go into the office. You learn so much just by listening and hearing other agents talk about deals that they're dealing with or whatever. And there are a lot of opportunities there. That's how I got a lot of my opportunities. And then also, the last thing I would say, find an agent that you admire or look up to and shadow them. And when I say shadow, go to open houses with them. Go on showings with them. If they are, you know, open enough for you to come to a listing appointment, do that. And with doing those things, you're setting yourself up to be an excellent agent, I think.
There you go. And so you have this longevity of customer service for 25 years. So what story you can share with the audience of what you did and how you solved that and why it makes you who you are today?
Okay. There's actually 2, but we'll go. Anybody who works with me, especially in my office, knows that I had a deal, and like I named my deal. So this one was dead seller. So
dead seller,
4 days before me and my buyer was to close, the seller passed away.
Oof.
We received a phone call from an agent, and she's an agent that works in one of the Keller Williams that's associated with my offer. And I could tell by the tone of her voice something was wrong. So she's like, Betty, and I'm like, well, what happened? And she's like, Betty, Mr. passed away. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And the first thing, which was the wrong thing, I'm like, what's gonna happen to my buyer? Right? So, you know, we talked about it, and she was like, she doesn't know, you know, or anything, but, you know, just for us to be patient. So after I hung up, I immediately called her back, and I told her, please let their family know that I apologize for their loss. Because regardless, too, this man is gone, and his family is affected by that. Okay, so we were to close on June 4th, 2023. All right. Now, during the time the seller passed away, the house was in New Jersey, but he since moved to Chicago. Okay.
Midwest.
Yes, the Midwest. Him and his wife were going through a divorce, but they weren't divorced yet. The wife's name was not on the deed.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Okay.
Another
so
layer.
Now we're getting blows after blows. Okay. So we have to wait until it goes into probate. Yes, the wife has to get a hold of it. The attorneys that we were working with, I mean, they were doing the best that they can, but the best is not enough for me. So now me and the listing agent, we take on this again, project management skills. Okay, we're going to get this deal done, whatever we need to do. So we had to do emails and letters and following up with this and that and the other, but we stayed on the course. And my client, she did not want any other house but this house, okay? It was a beautiful house. And, you know, I'm telling her like, hey, you know, I don't know, this thing.
There's a plan B just in
exactly.
case. Right.
So I'm like, maybe we should start looking at other properties. And she's like, no, Betty, I don't want to see anything else. I want this house.
Right.
I'll wait. Okay. So we waited. It took 4 months. Okay. We didn't close until November 8th of 2023, right? So now
November 8th, that's the birth of my mother.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So now we're approaching the time. So 2 weeks before that, okay, yes, get ready for closing. So
Right.
we're like, okay. So now the rate that she had
Expired.
Yes.
It expired,
so
right.
definitely. So now we have to do everything over.
Right.
We're doing everything over. And the lender tells us that she can't get the same rate and the rate is a lot higher, right? She's going to have to come to the table with an additional, I think it was like $57,000.
So what happens, guys, in cases like this, because of your debt to income ratio, the rate has a factor to it. So now your eligibility for buying the house at this current time does change because the rate goes up, meaning the cost of borrowing money goes up. So therefore, now you have to structure and you have to qualify. So there's a threshold that most lenders have to adhere to in order to qualify. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So now my client is like, what? Like, that's a lot. So we're
Right.
like, okay, well, maybe if we go to the seller's wife, because we've held on this long,
Seller's concession.
yes, maybe they can do something for us. She said no.
Oh, wow.
Yes. She said, I'm already giving you, because we were already receiving credits for repairs.
Right.
She's not giving anything else. So
Wow.
now we are like, oh my God. So we're praying and everything else.
Right.
So it just so happens, like the lender kept saying, let's wait. We waited until the bitter end, and the difference from 57,000 was only 17,000. God
Wow.
was in our favor.
Wow.
Yes. And my client closed. She's happy. I'm happy.
Right.
And it was a very special client to me also because she was my next door neighbor. But we got it all done. But I'm telling you, the emails, the back and forth, the prayers, everything else worked in our favor. And she got the house. And she walked in the house with over $100,000 in equity.
So it's good because you affirmed that, right?
Yes.
You put it out there.
Yes.
You said, look, we're going to get it. We're going to make it work.
Yes.
And the key thing you said, and I love about the story, is that you and the listing agent got on these calls, these emails,
Yes.
and felt like we can get through this. We're going to make it work.
Yes.
And in the end, both parties had to be satisfied.
Exactly. Yes. And I tell you, I didn't think that was going to happen. Everybody in my office, hey, Betty, what's going on with the dead seller? Dead seller. Everybody knows that story.
No,
and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Unfortunate situation turned into a better situation for the
Exactly.
outcome, right?
Exactly.
That's all good. That's all
Yes.
good.
So, yeah, that was amazing. And then as of recent, I know you only asked for one, but there was another one.
Okay, go ahead,
So I had
share
a
it.
client. I met her 2 years ago. She was referred by another client.
Right.
Okay, so I do pretty good business because
Relationship
I keep
is
getting
key, right? Go ahead.
referrals.
Okay.
So we were looking. We couldn't find anything because she had a low budget. Then she ghosted me. But you won't ghost me.
I know that feeling sometimes,
Yes.
right?
Yes. But, typical me, I'm going to stay on top of you.
I'm gonna
You
call.
No,
I'm gonna email. I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna
text
see,
or
yeah,
whatever. Whenever holiday comes, I know when your birthday is. Hey, da-da-da-da.
I'm living in your mind, rent free.
Yes, exactly. So last June, Valerie came back. Hey, Betty, I got a new pre-approval. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for.
Right.
Okay. It was still not as high as, we would like, but okay, we're going to work with it. Well, what she wanted. So one day
Keyword, what
she
she
gave me
wanted.
a call and she was like, hey, Betty, do you have any listings like in the East Orange or any area? So I was like, you know what? I don't have anything listed right now, but I'm going to have something. So she was like, okay, do you think I could see it? Show her the listing, which was actually right next door from where she lived.
Oh wow.
Okay. My seller was, I wouldn't say dragging his feet, but it was a lot of things. He had a lot of moving parts to get the house ready to get on the market.
Okay.
Put these two together and I was able to do an off-market deal. I've never been so proud of doing something because my client, Valerie, she has foster children. And this was a long dream of hers to own a house. So for me to get that done and to get my seller the house sold without having to go on the market because of the moving parts that he had. That was something that really made me feel like this is why God put me into real estate.
You just gave me goosebumps.
Yes.
I mean, how commendable that is, right?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Bettye, whoo.
Yeah.
You shake off of that one. That was, wow.
And I could have put it on the market and made a whole lot more money.
But it's not about that.
It's not. It
no.
really isn't. Sometimes you just really have to know what your role in life is.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Purpose.
Exactly.
Right.
And I say this, and it's so funny. My word for this year is purposeful.
Okay.
Like everything that I do strategically this year is going to be with a purpose.
I love it.
And I think I'm going to have a great outcome.
You will have a great outcome. That's
Thank
good.
you.
So, Bettye, how do you handle the work-life balance of being an entrepreneur in real estate and at the same time managing that personal life that you have?
Right. This is a question that I am faced with all the time.
Right.
And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I've never in my life had a job. Well, I only had 3 where I was passionate about it. Right. So with this passion comes, I don't really feel like I'm working most times. Okay. Like I'm not going to work today. And then all of a sudden I'm working. But this is what I do. Whenever I decide I want to take a day off, I'm taking it off.
Okay.
If I feel I want to go on vacation, I'm going on vacation.
Right.
I don't plan things, but when I feel like it, I just do it. If I wake up and like, hey, today I'm just going to stay home in bed.
Right.
Then I do.
I love
or
it.
if I'm going to book a trip and leave, I will. So that's my work-life balance. I mean, I don't recommend it for everyone, but that works for me.
It suits for you. Whatever works. Whatever
Yes.
makes you powerful. And again, going back to what you're saying, purposeful.
Exactly.
It makes others happy, including yourself. Let's rock with it, right?
Exactly.
So a quick fire round in real estate.
Uh-oh.
So what's your favorite neighborhood in Jersey?
I'm going to have to be honest, and I know a
You
lot of
should
people
be. You should
a lot
be.
of people are going to be like, of course you would say that. Montclair.
Of course you're going to say Of course you're going to say Montclair.
I love Montclair.
Right.
I've raised my children in Montclair.
Right.
And I will say this, being older now,
Right.
I appreciate
Wiser.
it more. Okay, wiser. I appreciate it more. Like, before, I was just there. This is when I was a worker bee going back and forth, the things with the kids or whatever. But now I really get a chance to appreciate it. And there's a lot of things that they do for the community. I like the diversity, the eateries, the shops, just everything. So Montclair is going to be it for me. There's other counties. There's other places that I like, but I love Montclair.
You and a lot of other people, I'm sure. All right. So what is the most challenging aspect of real estate?
The most challenging aspect of real estate, in my opinion, would be rejection.
Okay.
Yes. It is hard when you're not used to rejection. Like I said, coming from customer service, I was inbound customer service. So people are calling because they want to talk to me.
Right.
Now I'm in outbound customer service.
Big difference, right?
Yeah, where people, don't necessarily want to talk to you. They're not 100% honest. Like you could, I get leads from realtor.com. So, your job is to get in front of the client, right? So, you do whatever to get in front of them. You meet them, you bring all your stuff, blah, blah, blah. You show them, and then you don't hear from them again. And it's like, wait a minute, what did I do?
Yeah.
Did I not smell? What happened?
Yeah, like, what's going on? Right?
Exactly. So rejection, that's it. Yeah, rejection. I hate it.
All right, I get it. So if you weren't a realtor, what would you be doing?
Right now in my life, I would probably just be back in not in customer, but back in corporate.
Corporate? Okay.
Yeah, I would be back in corporate doing what I know best.
Okay.
I've never taken a leap of faith like this. I've never been in sales. When I was younger, I was always told you would be great in sales. And I'm like, no, I can't, because commission-based, no, I don't understand that.
It's a different life.
Yeah, but now I'm in it. And like I said, this is my purpose in life. And I truly feel that way.
It comes across genuine, I promise you. So your go-to coffee snack spot in New Jersey?
Okay. Here's a promotion.
Okay, here you go.
Paper Planes
Oh.
in Montclair.
Okay, yep.
Not only is it the cutest place, but they definitely have the best coffee. And I'm not even a coffee drinker. I'm going to be honest with you.
I love me some coffee.
I love lattes, and they have the best lattes. And yeah, it's just Paper Planes.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Betty, for
Thank
coming on
you.
Let's Talk About It podcast by Jimmy Mortgage.
Okay.
So, of course, I'm on your favorite streaming platform, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your streaming platform, I'm there. And also I'm on social media, Jimmy Mortgage. But Betty, where can people find you? Because that's very important.
Okay, well, you can find me at Keller Williams
Okay.
in Montclair, 237 Lorraine Avenue. I'm on Instagram, Better Offer Betty.
Right.
On TikTok, the same for however long we're still going to be available on TikTok.
Okay.
And on Facebook. So my middle name is Lawani Lyons, and then it's a hyphen Betty.
Okay.
So that's where you can find me.
Thank you so much, Betty, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. This was great.
Cool.
Yes.